Well, for more on the diplomatic front, let's go to our Middle East correspondent Nizar Sadawi, who joins me here in the studio. Hi, Nizar. When you and I were talking yesterday, Hamas had yet to formally respond to this new US-backed ceasefire proposal. Now, it's saying it's willing to engage positively in talks about this proposal. Tell us more about what you're hearing about what the group is saying.
Well, here lies the difference. There's a difference between ceasefire negotiations and actual ceasefire. For the time being, what is happening looks more like a tactical ceasefire than a strategic peace. And there's, of course, all the difference in the world. Hamas has always been willing to go for these negotiations and reach a ceasefire agreement. Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, was the one keeping this from actually taking place because of his political ordeal, the one that he's still facing in Israel. We have to keep in mind that Netanyahu has been searching for what we may call a safety net. This has been recently provided, or at least promised to be provided to Netanyahu. He actually has time now until the Knesset reconvenes. He has others who would support him. It's not just about the far ultranationalists like Itamar Ben-Gvir or Bezalel Smotrich. There are others who can actually support him, and mainly this time there's a difference. It seems that the actual support might happen from outside Israel. Donald Trump, the US president, has implied recently that Netanyahu should be looked at as a hero. And he actually referred to what is happening in Israel regarding these corruption trials as something that should not be happening. So it seems that Trump gets it. Trump understands that what Netanyahu is looking for is actually a way out. He wants to say yes to the deal, but he couldn't before. And now this has made a difference. Hamas's position has always been the same. They want reassurances, guarantees that this would not be, again, a tactical ceasefire or a pause in hostilities. They want to make sure that this will bring the ongoing genocidal war to an end. And this is the demand of all Palestinians, not just Hamas.
And this comes, of course, as Netanyahu prepares to make a trip to Washington to meet Donald Trump. I assume this US-backed Gaza ceasefire proposal will be on the agenda. What can we expect from that meeting?
Oh, of course, Oscar. It all refers to what we may call the Trump regional chessboard. After the agreement between Israel and Iran, which will be discussed, obviously, in this meeting on Monday between Netanyahu and Trump, it seems that Trump wants to make sure that the Abraham Accords expand. He wants Abraham Accords 2.0. And in order for this to happen, there must be peace in the Middle East. And the main issue, the major elephant in this region has always been Gaza. It actually sparked other conflicts in the region, including somehow the direct conflict between Israel and Iran. The most fatal that we've seen in years, in decades, between the two sides. So what happened in Syria, what happened in Lebanon, pushing Hezbollah to the north of Litani River, which Netanyahu and many Israeli officials regard as a success. Every success they are talking about would not be fully achieved or completed until there's a ceasefire. When it comes to Benjamin Netanyahu, this time there's another difference, because see, here's the drill. If a ceasefire is actually reached, peace is achieved in Gaza, that would definitely skyrocket his political capital. On the other hand, if he somehow fails to disarm Hamas, get rid of the idea that Hamas would still be ruling Gaza, that would destroy everything for him. And that's why he needs the safety network from within the Israeli cabinet and from outside, more specifically Donald Trump. Today there will be a meeting, a cabinet meeting at 19G, 22 local in Israel. That's where they will be seriously this time discussing the terms of the ceasefire. And most importantly, we are in a very critical time. Right now we should see these parties, all of them, sending delegations. So Israel might actually send a delegation to Doha, specifically Qatar, to discuss the implementation of this ceasefire, to negotiate these terms in specifics. Yes, 10 alive captives will be released, 18 dead bodies will be recovered, more than 2,000 Palestinians might be released. We know the details of the proposal, of the US Qatari proposal this time, but it's not just about the fact that we know them or both sides know them, it's about whether they will be implemented or not. Hamas did not make any significant changes this time, and that's very crucial. Hamas only made small amendments, technicalities. Yeah, let's put it this way. They demanded some rephrasing of sentences, terms in the agreement to make sure that, yes, US President Donald Trump will be a guarantor of this agreement. Yes, they will be promised that the fighting would not resume after the 60 days truce end. And Trump actually promised that somehow. According to 30-word sources, it seems that Trump has put his foot down. He has actually assured that even if these negotiations regarding an actual full end to the war, which will start on day one when Hamas hands over 8 living captives, even if the 60 days end without reaching that the war has fully ended, they will continue the talks. That's what Trump is promising, and that's very significant.
It sure is. Okay, Nizar Sadawi, thanks as always for sharing your analysis with us.